If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. I'm your host, the Innkeeper, and this is our live call and talk show all about the Wheel of Time. Now, you're back to continue our conversation that we were having earlier today for 3.5 hours, but also we'll be breaking some new ground because Rafe decided to get on and actually do a little Q&A. So we're going to cover that information. We're actually also going to dig into the metadata that, us fan freaks out there found in the images and what that tells us about the episodes coming up. Okay, that's it. We are back here Sunday and next Wednesday. We have some fun episodes coming up all about sword forms. We have this really fun surprise for you on Sunday. Make sure you're here 4 p.m. Eastern with Way of the Heron. They prepared something special that they're going to premiere on that show. And then the following Wednesday, we do Wheel of Gaming. Yes, Paul, a new Wheel of Gaming channel. We're going to do some live Wheel of Time, like actual Wheel of Time games. Okay, be there for those things, but you're here to talk all about Entertainment Weekly's live drop of information today. And to do that with me, I have two wonderful guests today. Let me welcome to the show both of you, Malkier Talks and Delusions of Graendal. How are you both doing? It's awesome to see your faces.
So excited to be here!
I'd forgotten that Delusions, you had finally joined us, and I was like, that's right, Delusions is here.
Also, that damn Delusions.
Oh man, you guys are going to bring some awesome energy to this discussion. Now why don't we take everybody through a little, history for the last, probably 20 hours, 24 hours. We found out there was going to be something showing up in the Entertainment Weekly magazine. Yes, let me show this image. I've shown this many times. Halle Berry on the cover of this Entertainment Weekly magazine for, I think, September 1st, but it drops August 20th. And at the top of this, you see First Look is Wheel of Time TV's next, is the Wheel of Time TV's next Game of Thrones. And this obviously kicked off, there was an individual on Twitter that happened to have an early published copy or something. I don't know. They kind of leaked some images about it seemed like. But either way, the next morning, it looked like digital versions of this had been released if you subscribe to Entertainment Weekly. And so we actually had fans like Jenny, Lesbian Nerdy, who was here with us this morning, and then Rob from Weekly Wheel of News, who I think subscribed and found out that it had been released, and they saw some images there. So we covered that today. Then eventually, Entertainment Weekly dropped the actual real high-resolution images, and they put up a really fun article on their site, which we will walk through here. If you have not seen this, you need to go check it out. And we're gonna be looking at these 4 images as I page down here. Just some fantastic images. and we'll talk about what's actually said in the article. I know a lot of people talked about maybe you hadn't read through this. What is Rafe giving us that's new information? So yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. If you haven't checked out the Entertainment Weekly article, go do so. Read it. It's amazing. And again, we're going to be covering the images here. And that's, I think, catches us up. Did I miss anything, you two?
Just what boots are you wearing to walk us through this article? Is all I'm worried about.
I would show you, but look, the socks I have on, you don't want to see at this moment. So I should have been wearing boots, and now I'm disappointed. Let's start the show over. Let me get some boots. Yes, if you don't know... Okay, I'm going to show that because you brought up the boots. If you have no idea why the boots are a thing, it's because we looked at these images and I remarked how fantastic all the boots were. And in sending out a tweet here, I think it was, obviously to Rafe and the team, and I want to say that this was the one, but maybe I'm wrong here. I thought I had, there it is. The Wheel of Time official channel said, "Thank you for your marathon broadcast today, and don't be embarrassed about the boots thing." That's right. I'm not embarrassed about the boots thing. Or if I was, I'm not anymore.
That's what I said. No man is embarrassed by talk of boots. So
that's right. Like I pointed out.
Because I missed the lunch stream today, did you have a particular favorite pair of boots? I was quite taken by Rand's on foot ensemble.
Favorite pair of boots. Okay. Look, we're going to use the new polling feature. If you're not here with us on Twitter, who had the best boots? This is going to take a little bit. Oh man.
Wow.
Who all, we all had, I guess we just start from the left. Nynaeve had some, interesting boots there. Who else? We had Matrim. I guess technically everyone had boots, right?
Yes.
Lan, Moraine. I think, they only let us put in 4 options here. Oh, that's a limitation of this poll. So,
man.
Okay, pick your 4 options. Yeah, pick your 4 options here that people are going to pick from best boots.
Well, we got to do Egwene and Rand because we get a close up of their boots in their photo together.
Okay, Egwene and Rand. I think I want to say that Alana had some good boots.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm just scrolling to her. Yeah, she's got some great
And I think
boots.
maybe we go with who else was our last one here? Moraine. We'll go Moraine. How about that? Okay, so Egwene, Rand, Alana, Moraine. We're gonna ask our community best boots between those 4. We'll see. We'll see what people have to say. That's oh my
it's
God.
tough to pick.
I can't believe we just started the show off with a boots poll. Oh gosh, it's so good. So
we
good. Okay.
know the importance of a good pair of boots.
That's
Courtesy
right.
of a certain monologue in Towers of Midnight.
That's true. So why don't we, while people are picking the best boots out of those 4, I think it's important for us to show people that maybe have just joined us tonight and did not catch all this news. Let's show them what all the hubbub was about here. And, first of all has to be this cover image. Rob, I know you called in today. Did you notice anything else about this cover image that you would say is worthy of note?
So I was actually chatting in post-show after. I stuck around longer than 3.5 hours. And there was discussion about what might be hanging off Matt's chest strap there. And if I zoomed in as much as I could between his knee and Lan's knee. And there seemed to be something just sort of pointed that was catching a bit of light between them. You could quite clearly see it between their cloaks and knees. So we thought perhaps he might be having a quiver under his coat there.
Oh, okay.
So you're telling me it's all in the knees.
So
it's
maybe,
all in the knees, yes.
A quiver. Yeah, that's an interesting idea.
Possibly.
I like that.
It was, we were chatting about it, and something catches the lights just there, and it's got a little,
I love it. I love it that you're
highlights.
picking out some additional details here. One that freaked out fans a little bit when I noticed, or I don't even know if I actually noticed anything, but fans did say that they thought they might see something here. Does Perrin, and I want to ask you, Delusions here, does he have a ring on his finger here? Is that a ring that we're seeing right there on his finger? Delusions, where were you at in this poll? I don't know if you were there with us, but I'm just kind of curious. What do you think?
I was not there. So I'm catching up on all of the drama now. So I just got off a recording with Virgil, and both of us were kind of going through these images for the first time. Oh God, I'm staring at it. It does kind of look like a wedding ring. I'm slowly
coming along.
trying to like my approach to life is, you know how like you're getting in the water, you can either dive head first into the water
right.
or like slowly
Yeah.
introduce yourself. I can't do the slow thing. It like I'm all in or I'm all out. And with this wedding concept with Perrin, I'm finding myself actually having to do the slow wade. So it's been, I mean, because when did we first get the rumor drop that Layla Abera was a thing? Like 2019?
Oh, this is a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
very
long time ago, right? So almost 2 years now. And it's taken me that long to like get myself accustomed to the idea that like we might have a fridging in what?
But by the way, watching the just sheer wave of emotion in chat on this topic is just from a hosting standpoint a glorious thing. You know, and like you just get to kind of watch. There's just major highs and lows for people on this one. It just goes up and down in chat. It's nuts.
I
yes,
love the
that was one thing we noticed. Hey, go ahead, Rob.
Lee Christie in chat. You stirred the marriage pots.
Yeah, exactly. It's the truth. That is one thing that we talked about today. Let's close this poll out. I think we see a winner. Thank you for the 200 of you that voted on this. Egwene was our winner, and we've got to take a look. Okay, let's take a look at these boots.
The queen.
We've got to look at these boots. Let me verify that I'm on the right image for Egwene. Oh, there they are. Look at those boots.
That's
wow.
a great boot one.
That's some good. That's good boots right there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She definitely won the boot poll here with us, and I get it. I can see this.
Why am I suspecting that tomorrow morning, or even like right now, someone is creating boots of Twitter of time or something
Boots
like
of,
that?
oh yeah, boots of time.
Boots of time.
Okay, I'll be
wait
honest.
For that Twitter handle, it's coming.
If I had time, I absolutely was. My brain was like, "You should do that," but I didn't have any time today. But this was an image that our dear friend Rhythma loves, and I named this Rhythma's picture. This is hers. Yeah, this image of Rand and Egwene actually shows chemistry, unlike the book, perhaps. And
did you talk about whether or not they're going to bang in the show? Was that covered?
We have
Because,
not covered that yet.
That is an aggressive
you're there.
bang.
From Rand is what you're saying. You know, is that what you're getting at?
Yes. Look at the way, like this was like look at how he is staring.
Did we go from boots
Egwene.
to eye bang? That's where we went.
From boots to bang, a very
From boots to
dusty
bang.
evening.
I mean, you should have expected this with Delusions on the show. You know?
Oh, do you don't think that I loved the idea that both of you were going to be here in this moment? From boots to bang, I think is.
This is the quality content people have come for. So.
This is good. Absolutely great picture here. Just noting the mountains in the back. I love this. It's a scene I can't wait for. Yeah, this looks like really interesting. Hopefully, it is a scene and not just kind of a setup. That would suck. But we do know, and we're going to dive into this here shortly. There's some metadata. Yes, some metadata. And when we say metadata, maybe we should explain. Let me show you a little bit of what we're talking about. If you save an image, you can let's just say you can get the info about the image that was associated with it, the kind of image it is, its size, where it's saved. And you can also see some information that might have been embedded in it, which often cameras will do, or, I think you can do it outside of a camera here. But this description that's applied to this, and, for example, this one has to do with the first image we saw. And this is some spoiler stuff for the season if you didn't want to know it. And you can see, and I want to say this one, right? It might be this one. Yeah, here you go. The one we're just looking at with Rand and Egwene, it says season 1, basically episode 1, and then exterior mountain ridge. Egwene joins Rand. He knows what she's going to do. So this gives us a feel for what this image is portraying. So that's really interesting backdrop to have about this information. So yeah, really, and we talked about this this morning, that maybe this was what she was going to do, her choice, right? And maybe this, I can't remember who said it in chat, but this is like the breakup. They quoted Egwene or something like, this is her chance to. She was like, basically we're breaking up was the idea. So yeah, really, really interesting here. To see this one. I just see somebody, Loyal has been cast. He's in the show for anyone in chat that was kind of wondering about it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, Delusions just posted in chat here. When I say in chat, over on YouTube in chat, there's a metadata thread by Rob from Weekly Wheel News that pulled these, and this is the ones I'm using and showing here on the screen. So yeah, really cool. Let me take us back here to this main image. Anything else? We talked a lot about this, about their coats. We're trying to summarize and kind of go through this for kind of catch people up that weren't here this morning. I really liked the focus on the different quality of coats that we have across this group. Maybe Matt lacking any quality up to Moraine's cloak, and even Egwene's shawl, if you will, that looks really great. And then you have these obviously, very Two Rivers or Eamon's Field like jackets on Perrin and Nynaeve, and even Rand in this way. So yeah, anything else from this image that we want to summarize, just kind of catching people up before we dive into some new stuff?
Yeah, I think so. My Never reader was looking at this image for the first time, and one thing that he brought to my attention that I hadn't even thought about was just how non-sexualized the women are, and they just look like they're ready for traveling. Like it's a very collegial group, and I think it speaks to the, especially if you've read the article, the real equality that Rafe is going for in the show. And I just thought like it's such a powerful thing to see the wardrobe reflect the intention of the show. And I think, even just in the 4 images that we've been given, we see a lot of the matriarchal power, which I guess is the spin that Rafe's putting on it, at least for the press, which is just wonderful. Really nice to see, really positive.
Yeah. Really interesting point. I had not thought about that. And there's no, you wouldn't call this sexualization of, I wouldn't say really anybody, as they're presented, other than if you just find these individuals attractive, just generally speaking. And people called to attention Nynaeve's braids. So we had to kind of zoom in here, check that braid out.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the girth on that braid.
Yeah.
Yes, that is more than wrist thick. I love it.
That has taken many a year to grow. It's very, very impressive.
Really, I love that. People talked about Matt's beard, and that's going to be an answer. Rafe actually talked about this. Yeah, scraggly Matt. We're gonna be talking about that in Rafe's answers to the Q&A they did here shortly. So that was one of the other things people noted. Lan just looking all Lan. There wasn't. Talking about maybe his gloves kind of go all the way up across his. I think someone mentioned they go up his forearms, and then we have. I don't think there wasn't a huge remarking on Moraine's costume, other than we got the cloak, if you will. Look here, that a lot of people were worried about we were going to miss. People mentioned again no Kisera, but we already knew that wasn't going to happen. And then we have the ring, and the ring is something people really noted. It's a different take than what everyone's used to on what the Aes Sedai ring is going to be like. What did you think about this, Rob? The ring itself. Are you a fan of them kind of taking a stab at maybe a different look than what we're all accustomed to as far as seeing other people create rings well before this?
Yeah, you always expect them to be kind of understated, very, I suppose, just slimmer and smaller rings, but this is absolutely in your face. With them not doing the ageless Aes Sedai look, having a ring that really stands out even in a crowd of people wearing rings is, I think, a really good idea. There's obviously been talk about different colors for the different Ajas, which I think is also a good touch. That is a bit of personalization in there. And also, if you take this ring off and you want to hide who you are, well, you've done it. The ring is like in your face if you're wearing it. As soon as you take it off, you're another person walking down the street. So also, I love her. I don't know if they're fingerless gloves now that I've actually looked at her fingers and not just her thumb.
Yeah.
But I love that touch there. It's like, I'm ready for battle. I'm ready to kick ass. But also I have some, I can put my ring on my actual finger as opposed to slipping it over a glove. So. Oh,
that's interesting. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. That seems like an interesting invention of that. Now,
I'm all about the logistics.
Joe Perry in chat said that's not the Aes Sedai ring. I can't remember. Did we run the poll whether or not we thought this was an Aes Sedai ring today? Is that a poll we ran this morning?
About the ring.
I don't. Let's do it.
Run
Is
the
this an Aes Sedai ring? I think the answer is yes, because we see it with Alana. But I want to see how much more. If it's just Joe or there's others that are on the are on the train of this is not an Aes Sedai ring. So yeah, no, great comments there. And I want to throw up here. Let me see if I can get to that. Yeah, let me throw up. I think it was Hybrid Havoc said, "We all know the sexualization doesn't start until Valen Luca is on the screen." That's interesting point.
Wow.
Sorry, those, Hybrid Havoc for the win on that one. Okay, so here we go. Let's jump back and see what else before we jump on from this image. Again, just kind of trying to summarize where we kind of were this morning for anyone that missed this, and make sure you kind of caught on to some things that were kind of interesting for us that we noted as we saw this. Anything else here between the two of you that thought were interesting to bring up other than just the look of those boots? Those boots are amazing.
The boots are good. The colors that Nynaeve is wearing, that she's dressed in green, which is someone's favorite color, but also that she's wearing yellow trousers or yellow pants under them, depending on what word you prefer to use, because pants is different here in the UK, obviously.
Love it. I didn't see anything quite. Trying to think of anything else we called out, other than we talked about the boots and the kind of well-worn thing.
Yeah.
I think it's really. Go ahead, Delusions.
Sorry, did you guys talk about how all the Aes Sedai that we've seen are wearing their colors? Like even Moraine dressed all in blue, like shirt, belt, trouser, pants, maybe cloak, like everything is blue. And I wonder if that's something that's going to continue like throughout the seasons, if this is deliberate, if this is a nice, like, are they going to have the Aes Sedai shawl, or are Aes Sedai just kind of repping their colors at all times? Yeah, interesting. As far as whether or not to do it at all times, I wonder. My guess would be that it is, in very kind of politically charged situations, definitely, and where they want to be known by others of what type. And I wonder if they're going to kind of play that up as far as from a cultural standpoint. People might think you're Aes Sedai, but as long as you're not Red Aja, or as long as you're not an Aja that they don't like. And so maybe this is a way for them to kind of declare themselves in the world. And maybe they're using it that way, where people they don't just see the ring, but they also kind of get a feel for who you might be. So someone pointed out Moraine's her nails. That's what I saw here. Maybe I'm missing something on the nails side of it. I didn't see anything remarkable about them, but
I don't either.
They look well taken care of.
that's true. They do look. Yes, that's and Joel McQueen just asked for a link to the article, and why not? I think someone in chat, I'm sure, can throw you the link there. But while I won't be able to do that over there. I'll have to do that in a different one. So yeah, someone want to throw a link in the chat for the Entertainment Weekly article. Thank you very much, Delusions, doing double duty there. Appreciate that. Well done. So really interesting, I think, overall. By the way, we're going to open the phone lines in a bit. Not yet, but hopefully, enjoy that image. I think we probably spent an hour on this image breaking it down this morning. It was nuts.
It was over an hour. I was watching.
Did you talk about Moraine's shoulder pads?
We didn't really focus on them. Actually, we didn't get a lot of commentary on that. Did you want to make a comment, Delusions?
I just love it. She looks so badass and ready for battle. And it's such a powerful image. I love a good shoulder on a lady. And it's just she's front and center, and it's just such a power pose, and she commands the screen. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to see if I can show this comment here from, I think it was from Joby Kenobi. Joby-Wan Kenobi. Lan's buckle is the only metalwork more complex than Perrin's belt. That's a really good kind of thing to point out. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out. That's great. And then Rajesh asked, did we confirm that this was, by the way, pre-Waygate? So let's go there in just a second. But let me, first of all, get Wheel Up Time's comment here. Thank you very much for the tip. Cage equals Quendalar serves as an intro to what is before the seal is found. Even if he breaks the shield, nothing can break those bars. Taishar. That's an interesting question. I want to bring that up when we get to when he talks about Cage as Quendalar. Let's talk about that when we get to that image. He's talking about Logain here. So yeah, that's an interesting thing. That's a really cool idea that I hadn't thought of. And this comment is from Laura. Thank you for the tip. Didn't Aes Sedai seal letters with their rings? Wouldn't they need to be fairly large to do so? The rings fit for that. So yeah, interesting point.
So yeah, thank you very much for that comment. That's great. Let's jump on. Other than if we want to talk about the shoulder pads a little bit. Oh, I did want to make one final note. Marcel called in and made a note in chat about Matt's attire as compared to others, wondering if this was kind of like maybe Matt is more poor, and that's why he has kind of threadbare clothing as compared to others, or he just has like crappy friends, or I did see a theory on this that he actually it was like his parents were like, basically. He just maybe is a slacker, and so they weren't rewarding. I don't know. Like, there's other ways to kind of go around it, but I thought Marcel's thought that was interesting. Maybe that's why, I think Marcel said maybe that's why he's interested in like treasure, if you will. So yeah, that was a cool thought. Okay.
Oh,
yeah. Great comments, everybody. Let's end this poll, by the way. And yes, Joe Perry. Oh, Joe, I want to point out something. You actually do have a couple of people that believe with you that this is not an Aes Sedai ring.
Wow.
Now, I don't know why they believe that, whether or not they're like, that doesn't look like an Aes Sedai ring from the books.
Why do they believe that? It's a garbage opinion to have.
I wasn't quite saying that. Hey, listen here. I wasn't quite saying that it was a garbage opinion. I wouldn't do that.
The lines, Matt.
Hey, Jen. Jen Iskro is here. Jen.
Hey!
Jen Iskro from Takaranria joined us. Jen, quietly. You just joined us quietly. I didn't even know you were like waiting there. So, well, thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. But I want to go back to Delusions' comment here really quick, Jen, which is I wasn't saying that there's anything bad with saying, no, this is not an Aes Sedai ring. I just wonder if some of those no's are like, I will not accept any ring that doesn't look like the ring that I want it to look like. That's what I was meaning. That is not an Aes Sedai ring. Jen,
Does Jen agree with Joe?
Yeah, Jen, are you in the Joe? So Jen is part of the Talk Around Red podcast, and Joe Perry, who is obstinate and doesn't want to believe that this is an Aes Sedai ring, is part of that podcast. So
Joe
what
with
do you
his
think?
trash opinion. Are you going to join him in the dumpster, Jen?
So
I am not. I think that it doesn't make any sense for that ring to be there if it's not an Aes Sedai ring. And also for
Right.
Alana to also have it is huge and different than what we're used to, but I
right.
just don't see why it would be there if it's not the Aes Sedai ring.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I think most people do. It's okay. We'll talk Joe out of his madness here soon.
That's
I'm sure.
okay. If we all agreed, we wouldn't have a very good show. So
That's true. Joe's just
Touche.
being obstinate so you guys have a good show. Okay, so Jen, while you're here, let's move on to another image and kind of summarize our findings. I think I want to jump on to this image here, which is all about good old, Shatter Logoth. So here we go. Let's take a look at this image. If you didn't see it, if this is your first look, enjoy. This is a first look at Shatter Logoth with Lan holding Moraine there. And obviously we have Mandarb and Aldib. And this looks like it's just set up to be like a cool image, a cool, nice shot. Because, and actually I didn't notice this before. Is that door open up there? Okay, now I gotta look.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't zoom in on the door.
This is because this is the one
door-
they.
oh.
Yeah, is this door open?
looks
Yes.
like it could be.
Enhanced.
If
It
it's not
is
deep
open.
set in there,
Look
yeah.
at that.
That is open.
And-
Yes.
That door is open. Okay, cool. So that obviously one would assume then that he's standing next to these stairs and that I was going to say that they were going in, but they sound like they were coming out of the stairs here. So, and the reason why I say that is we have, oh yes, and Mr. James said, can we please zoom in on the writing on the statue? I want to see if the characters match the companion guide for the Old Tongue. Okay, yes, we can do that shortly. But I want to point out this, I think it's, let's see, let's get there. Yeah, this says that description is season 1, episode 2, basically 102. Exterior Shatter Logoth, ruins temple. Lan with Moraine exits temple and races down the street on his warhorse. So, really interesting.
Matt, did you say temple?
Temple. That is what I did
I've heard
say.
that word before.
Oh, thank you for bringing that up. You have heard that word before. And the reason why Jen is bringing this up is because here at the Dusty Wheel, we actually unblurred a script related to Matt's dagger. And if you have never seen the unblurring we did, Well, now we will show it to you. This is the blurred script, other than the bottom that has actually been unblurred. Let me apply both of those for you here. And this is what we unblurred and found. It said, interior Shadow Logoth ruins, house continuous, and finds someone's house. It's in ruins now, but it's clear they were wealthy. Then he sees the glint of light shine. It's a small gold and black chest, beautiful but aged. He moves toward it, blowing dust away. The iron is rusted and decayed and cracks away as he opens the case. And inside, he sees something protected from the ravages of time, a ruby-encrusted dagger. It must be worth more than anything he's seen before. He picks it up, looks at it, and then a high-pitched, inhuman scream comes from outside. He whips his head back towards the scream, and then we actually came back and unblurred this section, which says that we believe it says, the scream belongs to one of the horses. A thick haze, oops, let me put that back up there. A thick haze of some kind of shadow, almost oily, wraps around and we think it might be horse, but we're not sure. Terrifying scream as it's consumed is what we believe it says. So yes, now if you take that into this idea, the scream belongs to one of the horses, and a thick haze of shadow, almost oily, wraps itself around I think we said horse, and there's a terrifying scream. If you take that into account, and then we jump back to this image, it kind of gives some context of what this might be, or what we might be seeing here as Lan comes out, and one of the horses, or a horse, is attacked. So, kind of amazing. What do you think, Jen? Do you think that what we're seeing here is kind of, well, eventually the outcome of that? Lan comes running out, and instead we're going to see Mashadar here. Is that how you interpret this?
Yeah, it's definitely a scene. Obviously, it's Sherdar Logoth, and I don't know if this is from when they're getting there or when they're just coming out, because when they're getting there is when she's kind of like tired and knocked out from channeling for them to get in. So that might be, I know this isn't like an exact scene, but that might be more of a time when he's carrying her rather than when they're escaping Sherdar Logoth.
Yeah, no, that's good. And that's a good point. Well, it seems like he's carrying her out versus carrying her in. And so she must obviously be affected by the channeling and such that's been going on. But yeah, I think you're right. This isn't an actual photo here. Yeah. People are saying this, according to that unblurred script, maybe it's Aldeeb that dies.
Yeah, I was about to say that,
No. Yeah, let's ask everybody to poll.
Why?
Yes.
Why would you say that? Why can't it be a horse that we don't know?
Is it Aldeeb?
Like Cloud or whatever.
Look, we're having fun. No one knows what's going to happen. Aldeeb is Aldieb, correct? Aldeeb?
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
Does Aldeeb die at Shadar Logoth?
I mean, someone
Absolutely
suggested
not.
it might be Bella.
So let me throw this in there.
That'd
It could
be
be Bella.
realistic.
Yeah, here we go. Everybody's like, no.
Yeah, we just saw Priyanka Bose riding Bella the other week. Bella's alive and well.
Oh, okay. So there you go. So it's not Bella. By the way, I think people are voting with their emotional selves versus their logical selves here. I'm just seeing some initial votes come back. Sorry, let me show this. This is from Christopher Schaff. Thank you for the tip. Said it might be like the Ruby Dagger was where it was only a small, band if it wouldn't be seen on camera, so they made it bigger for the visual medium. So that's true. Oh, I think Chris is talking about the ring. That's right. Yeah, I see what you mean. Maybe the ring is bigger, so it's more visually kind of interesting, compelling, and you can see it without having the camera having to like do a close up every time on someone's hand, like she's an Aes Sedai, and it's like zoom in and there's this like little ring on there. Yeah, I love
Like
it.
the dramatic music, like dun dun dun.
Exactly. Andrew Dash said, "I'm not emotional. You're emotional." I gotta show that's a good one.
Sorry
yes.
to interrupt, Innkeeper, but I think you need to change your camera setup. I think
Oh
there's
my
someone else
gosh!
here.
So thank you very much. You guys got to let me know these things. How am I supposed to host this thing if I don't know
He's
things?
a solo man today, everyone.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Welcome, Kritter XD. How you doing?
I'm
Thank you
doing
very much for
awesome.
being here.
It's my
awesome.
pleasure.
Yeah, it's awesome to have you here. Thanks for being part of this group, breaking this down. Kritter, you run a TikTok a relatively popular TikTok, Wheel of Time TikTok channel. When did you get into that? And why did you get into that? Tell everybody really quick.
I mean, over quarantine, I started a TikTok and just posted videos of my pets, like most people. And then one day, I saw somebody talk about the Wheel of Time on my For You page, and I stitched the video, and it got like 40,000 views. And I was like,
oh my
well,
gosh,
I guess that's what I'm supposed to be doing then. Because my previous videos got like 20 views, you know what I mean? And so then I started posting about the Wheel of Time, and the rest is history.
Yeah, it's awesome. How can people just look up Kritter XD? Is that how they find you on TikTok?
Yeah, just Kritter XD, no spaces, and should be there.
And do you cross post to Twitter under
yes. Under I'm in character Egwene Alvear. And so that's because that's my main Wheel of Time account. So that's where I cross post. So,
nice.
yes.
Yeah, I love it. Well, thank you very much for joining us. That's awesome. Definitely go check it out. I actually downloaded, I think, TikTok. I downloaded TikTok finally. That's right.
Nice.
But, look, I'm old apparently.
Just get the kids to teach you. I'm sure one of them knows how to do
I
it.
did tell my daughter, I was like, I'm gonna download it. She's like, oh, please don't. That's what that was. She's just like, please no, please
Oh my
no.
gosh. Is the Kate show going to be on TikTok?
Oh,
No,
wow.
the Kate show just knows she doesn't want Dusty Wheel or Innkeeper on TikTok. That's what the Kate show knows. So
Well, now we got to get it on TikTok. Come on.
exactly. So let's take this back. Let's end this poll. That's right. Let's see what the delirium is. Oh, there it is. It is no, Aldib doesn't die. Actually, who knows? I'm just making stuff up here. I think 77% say no. So there's hope.
I think 77% are wrong. So
I know that's a lot of hope. That's really
Optimistic.
good. Yeah, exactly. Extremely optimistic. So, okay. So let's jump back to this image. Kritter, I'm assuming you've seen all of these images from Entertainment Weekly today.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's been an exciting day.
Yeah, it's been a crazy day, but I just want to say I assumed it. Now, before we move on from this image, Miss Sarah James asked us to zoom in. I think it was on the statues maybe, and see if we can't see if they have some writing on them. I think that was the request.
Yes. To see if it matches the old
The
time.
one on the left looks like it's got some. I mean, it's also the only one not hidden in shadow.
Yeah, so I don't know. When you say old tongue, as in, I can't tell if you can read any of that per se. It does look like symbols, but I don't see necessarily any words on that one. Wasn't there like another one over here?
I'm
Maybe
looking at the
like-
one in shadow, and it looks like very similar style of symbols.
Yeah.
Just running down the
very
front.
Similar. Yeah.
Oh, just stay right on Daniel Henney's face. Those
Zoom in on the cheekbones.
those are
Yeah.
serving up.
Yeah. Is that better? I love Amaj Sina just said gallop pulls on the Dusty Wheel tonight. Gallop pulls. Nicely done. I love it. That's awesome. Yes. Look at land. There you go. And Moraine there. I didn't notice you can see her ring
Dummy
pretty prominently in this
Moraine.
one. So, yeah. Well, let's jump on to one of the images here that I think a lot of people it was really a fascinating one because it was with Logain and Kritter. And I would like to get your thoughts on this one. When you saw this, and for anyone that hasn't, here you go. Here's your first look at Entertainment Weekly's scoop here from an image standpoint. Here's Logain in a cage. What was your first thought, Kritter, when you saw this?
I immediately got excited that we're going to be getting more from his story, and we kind of based on the casting could have assumed that, I guess. But the fact that we're going to see like part of his storyline this early on, when before it was just sort of something that was happening in the distance, got me super pumped. I'm jazzed about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And this cage and this look again, it just looked other. Like I don't feel like I've seen this before. This
Yes.
look, and so that I really wanted. That's one of the things I really wanted for the show was I did not want to have seen this other places, if that makes sense. I didn't want this to actually feel like the 17th century of our time. You know, I wanted this to have kind of. I was hoping for some kind of future past feel to it. Yeah, I love that aspect. Jen, is this your favorite one or anything that stood out to you on this one that you think is kind of unique to point out to people that might not have seen this before?
I think it actually is my favorite one. Just seeing Logain, just his clothes, the way his stare, the whole cage, like the way their chairs are built into the cage. I just think it looks so cool. yeah, everything about this picture is just the Aes Sedai costumes, his costume, just all of it together. And just like our first look at Logain, really just, I think this is such an amazing picture.
Yeah, I just like slowly panning over and having his face. It just like looks like whoever
Yeah.
he's staring at. You don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
So good.
Doesn't he have a ring too? That kind of like caught a bunch of people's attention on Twitter, which to
Yeah.
me was interesting. Like, why would they give a prisoner a ring? You know?
Yeah, it's very dark. I'm looking at it right now, and it's
Yeah.
it looks just as big as the Aes Sedai ring, but without that extra piece across the top.
Yeah.
And it looks almost black to me. So
Well, and
Yeah.
I mean, the
Yeah.
description that we get in the article is that he, thinks of himself as a king, right? Like it's so it looks like they haven't changed his wardrobe at all. Like he's not like your typical prisoner. His hands aren't, held by bonds that we can see, at least. I'm assuming they're held by the power, but they've let him keep his kingly furnishings, his sleeves on that. Are we calling it a cloak? Probably, right?
Yeah, right.
yeah,
But they're very garish and it's very kingly, and like the ring I think just like speaks to that, because don't all kings wear like get bejeweled and bedazzled and like fancy?
For true.
Exactly. No, I love it. That's and someone pointed out that maybe this cage almost looks like a crown itself as you pan out, which I think is a fun idea.
Yeah, that was
you
like
know,
my Never Reader's comment was it looks like Sauron's not crown, but looks like his mask that we see at the beginning of the
Oh.
Fellowship of the Ring. So I don't know if that's like a deliberate homage, but
Right.
yeah, some Sauron vibes for sure.
No, I
mean,
agree with that. Yeah.
I,
Go for
I
it,
like
Rob.
that. I mean, there's a lot of influence in the first book from the Lord of the Rings, so that would be a nice little homage in the TV show to respond and respect that the ideas that Jordan was using. So I like that idea. Like, tell him he's onto something there, I think.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, no, this one's fun. Someone did point out this. If you haven't seen this image before, it does look like Ivan is right behind Alana, and this is something we almost missed. But there, it looks like you can see his head right behind her as one of her warders. That would make sense that he's kind of in close, approximation of her, especially with the two Red Ajah behind her. Not that Red
Yes.
Ajah are dangerous. We're not saying that. But yeah, no, I have not. I saw this question. I have not looked up these faces as actors. Actors. So I don't know who they are, but I'm sure Twitter of Time and others will be looking at, closely to find that out. So yeah, I think these are some of the boots there again that that are being worn by
those
Alana.
boots.
You gotta love those boots. Absolutely. Anything else that kind of stood out, just for those that might kind of a summary of this before we jump on to the next image?
I think just Priyanka Bose, Alana Mosvani steals this scene. Obviously, like our focus is initially on Logain, and like that stare is so captivating. But the longer I look at this and just like the power that Alana has over Logain is like she is in command of this situation. She is owning that throne, and she's calling all the shots here, and I love it. I love everything that she's bringing to this image.
Yeah, and someone asked us to zoom in on this ring. Yeah, you can see that same kind of ring that we see on Moraine's hand. You can't tell if there's like a green stone there per se. Someone mentioned that maybe on the Red Sister's hand you could see a stone. Maybe. I don't know that I see that on one of their hands, a ring. Does anyone else
I see that.
You see
Yeah,
maybe there's
I
a
see-
ring there?
Yeah, on a middle, what looks to be her middle finger.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's possible. Yeah. We need to unblur that one. That's a little bit blurred. I think that's for sure.
I think we know someone who does that.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if we jump into, this is one of the ones that was of question when we talk about metadata. If you recall, for this image, it shows season 1, episode 103, and actually the details here are weird because it says external Carlin Plains, Egwene and Perrin see wagon tracks heading east, friend or foe. Any thoughts here, Kritter, on what this has to do with the scene that we are seeing? Because obviously we don't see Perrin or Egwene, and these don't look like plains here.
I have to imagine that maybe this is the wagon, and in some way, like in order to tie things together, they're sort of crossing paths without knowing it. I don't know. That is bizarre. When I saw that, I was confused. But that's my guess, is that that's the wagon. We'll see though.
Yeah, it's interesting. Rob, do you have a theory on what this is or what this means?
I don't know. Perhaps they stumble. This is how Logain is introduced in terms of visually, as opposed to just being told verbally by rumors and gossip. And perhaps they stumble across the wagon tracks and the party that is transporting Logain. That's the only thing I could think of. But it implies they're meeting the Tinkers, really. But
oh, interesting. Okay, so you think that maybe
well, I don't know.
basically
That was my first thought about that description. I was like, oh, that sounds like meeting the Tinkers, because the Tinkers appear apparently, and then but it doesn't match the picture. So
yeah, it doesn't match the picture, but it does. As somebody said, maybe this is not necessarily related to the picture itself, but it's the episode, right? Because this is season 1, episode 103. So maybe this is just the beginning of whatever the description is for that episode, and not directly the picture. I don't know. It's a good question. But Tinkers is an interesting application to this. Because it doesn't seem like it connects to this piece, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. I think that was interesting. And now let's jump back, though. We never went over this one caught everybody off guard. This is, if you recall, everyone, the main image, the cover image, as I call it, all 7 of them. The Magnificent 7 is what they were referred to this morning. And the metadata on this one says Season 1, Episode 106, External Meadow Waygate. Moraine arrives at the Waygate, met by Loyal and all the other. Who is the dragon? Okay, Jen, what do you think that even means?
Yeah, I guess that's when they're traveling from whatever city they're in. Used to be Camelin. I think it's Tarvalon, but that's contentious, I know. I guess they're meeting him at the Waygate and then traveling to Faldara. And she still doesn't know which one of them is the dragon at that point. I don't know why that's in the metadata, but that's what I assume. And they're just not putting Loyal in the picture because they don't want us to see Loyal yet.
Loyal's taking the picture. Come on.
That's true. Is it from like really high up? So maybe that's why.
Yeah. We should go back and look. I don't think it is. That's probably not accurate then. Good point. He's just
maybe he's kneeling down.
He has to kneel down, because everyone does we don't want to stare up at your picture.
That's an unflattering
angle. No, that's flattering.
You got to do the downward facing angle. Jen knows. She
I love it.
That's
I love it.
That's why they got him to take it, because it would be the highest. Best look for everybody.
I love it. Okay, so this is an interesting one. I like that idea that I don't get the who is the dragon. Anyone have a theory on that before we kind of move on from this?
I think just based on the article and the way the article is framed, it really looks like they are trying to push to the audience that Moraine doesn't know. Like, she suspects one of the 3 boys can channel. She doesn't know who, and it's perhaps with this image, we have reached a point where something has happened, and Moraine suspects more strongly than ever that one of them can channel, and obviously is the dragon. So I don't know if it's like a wink wink nudge nudge to us, who we're obviously going to get the metadata and spend 6 hours dissecting all of these images, or if it was deliberately saved like that just because of the way that this entire season seems to be shaping up, and the way that at least it's presented in EW, that they really want to structure the season around this mystery.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. I guess depending on what you believe about why the metadata is there, maybe that was still kind of deliberately left that way. Who is the dragon? And leaving that up to, knowing that we might find this or see this. That's an interesting theory. I keep on wondering, can they have blatantly given us this much information just on purpose? But maybe it would just be us hardcore fan freaks that would care, and no one else would be looking for metadata. I don't know.
I mean, maybe it's a piece of the episode description. Like, depending on the platform, some platforms have really, really short episode descriptions. And who is the dragon ? Sounds like a pretty good one to me.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, I like that idea. Now, okay, so these were the 4 images. Hopefully you've seen these. Let me kind of bring us back here, because we're going to talk about Rafe's Q&A now. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Please do like this video if you have not already. We'd love to have you subscribe here. This is what we do: live call-in talk shows about the Wheel of Time on a weekly basis. And so that is the Dusty Wheel. I guess that's the synopsis that I introduce this as all the time. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed it up to this point. Stick around. I'm going to try to have Taylor help us do a mug giveaway sometime tonight. Don't let me forget that. Even if I've already said Smash to Black, make sure we'll come back on and give away a mug if we need to. But I want to go to Rafe's questions next. We'll open call lines in about 20 minutes. So let's jump to Rafe's Q&A. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Rafe got online and basically said, I'll answer some questions. A lot of people thought he was talking about questions you ask on the article itself. And so when it asked questions over in the article, and he ended up answering questions on Twitter. So let's show people what those questions were, and let's talk about these answers. So the first one, at least that shows up here, was actually asked by MK. MK asked, Rafe, whose idea was it to have Matt have a beard? And Rafe said, we aged up the Emmonsfield 5. I love that he uses that. From the books, because sometimes TV shows with a bunch of 17-year-olds as leads feel more like YA, and Wheel of Time isn't YA. Kritter, what do you think about his answer?
I kind of love that. I think it's necessary for them to change some things from the books to make it more workable as a show, and that seems like an appropriate one. They're all super young in the books, and you keep having to remind yourself of that because of like certain things that annoy people about some of the characters because of their immaturity. I'm curious if they still have some of those annoying traits because they're supposed to be a little bit older. But I love the look, and I think it's great that they're a little bit older.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that he just basically his answer is Wheel Time's not a YA. So,
right. We do what we want.
So we're not going to play to that. And that I think that does affect a lot of people how they conceive how the characters look now as compared to what they're used to reading. Delusions, thoughts on this? Do you just fully agree with that? Anything you want to add to kind of thoughts on Rafe's answer about why Matt has a beard?
Listen, Matt and beard, I'm here for it. All beard all the time. I love the scraggly Matt look. Love Barney in a beard. Hashtag let Barney grow.
Oh gosh, do you like Matt's beard? There we go. Hashtag what was that? Let Barney grow. Is that what we're seeing? Oh my god,
that sounds like a poll to me, Innkeeper.
That is a poll. It's going up. If you haven't already joined us over here in YouTube, please do. Like I said, we're going to do a mug giveaway here shortly. That's the only place you'll be able to add, be able to enter it. So please come over and follow us here, log in, and just jump into chat. It's a blast. It's a whole other show, as they say. So yeah, no, I loved this answer. It was a fun one. And in fact, and I think a lot of people have asked that because I think this image, I thought Matt had facial hair in an image that we saw in early 2020 that was kind of leaked. And that was a question that came up a lot, like beard, why? So I thought that was good. This one was Vinny Moriera said, OMG, everything looks perfect. How are you feeling, Rafe Judkins? Feels good to see the fandom freaking out on a Wednesday, ? And Rafe said, it's so nice. I'm glad people are liking what's out there. The more Twitter of Time can get people excited and engaging with these things, the better it is for the show, and the more people will get welcomed to this weird world. And Matt Scoundrel, who we all know, said, love this answer. Jen, what do you think about this? He kind of called out Twitter of Time. Like, hey, get people excited about this and engaged because it's better for the world.
Yeah, I'm very excited that we're finally getting this. Today was a great day for the fandom. I was up in the middle of the night looking at these pictures. I've been literally looking at them for almost 24 hours straight. And every time I look at them, I can't believe that they're real and that we finally got this. And I'm just so happy. I want to spread them out to the world and tell everyone, like, here it is, finally. Here's like a tangible thing we can show you. People who don't know anything about the show, here you go, read the article, so I was sharing it all over the place and just so excited, so happy. This is all I've wanted since the beginning. Costume shots.
Costume shots, yeah, I know.
Like dying every time there's a Wat Wednesday. I'm like, it's going to be a full costume shot. This is it. It finally came. It's like Christmas.
Yeah, no, that's true. We have been talking about that. Wasn't the one thing we really hadn't seen much of. A little bit more of Moraine and Lan at some point, but just not much. We kind of wondered because Rafe teased out this idea of like, well, I don't want you to see them like not in the show. Right. And so I kind of wondered if we would get this. So I'm with you, like actually getting some nice close-ups, if you will, of the costume. Like I said, these last 2 shows have been a lot about fashion, right? We're talking like, next up, let's look at the collar. What do you think? Stuff like that. It's been great.
Fashion show at lunch.
Rob, do you feel a responsibility to get people excited about this? Because the more people that you get excited about it, the more that will be welcomed to, as Rafe referred to it, this weird world.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've been telling people that this is going to be, it's going to make Game of Thrones look like a budget school production for at least 18 months. I've been saying that for at least 18 months. I don't share my Wheel of Time stuff on my personal Facebook account. This went straight on my Facebook account. And I was like, seriously, this is going to blow your mind. I mean, I was very eloquent, I feel. But I was sharing all the pictures of like, get acquainted with this, because the next decade of TV is going to be something special. And, this is your in. Get in now. Get in before it's the thing, because it's going to be amazing. So I definitely felt the pressure to share it out, and pleasure in sharing it out with people who don't know what I spend 99% of my time doing when I'm not working. So
yeah, feel that completely to the core. Let's end this poll. Do you like Matt's beard? And the poll was actually I thought there'd be a little bit more on the yes here. We're looking at about 25% of the crowd here, not a fan, not in the let Barney grow category. So
they'll come around.
They'll come around.
Yeah.
They'll come around. Yeah.
I have to say I voted no because I don't like it. But I'm just hoping that we have like a scene after he's healed from the dagger where he wakes up like fresh face, and you could be like, okay, like here he is. Like,
Well,
that's
Jen,
what
don't-
that's what I'm waiting for. That's the
you
only
and the
reason I
talkies-
like the beard.
Don't you guys always talk about the barber that's been
Yeah, maybe we'll get to see
the
him
recurring? Like
shave.
this is what the casting
Yeah.
for the barber's for.
there we go. Now you can tell Tom that he doesn't need to be frustrated. There's
He
a
still will
reason
be.
for the barber.
Oh man.
So I wanted to throw out this third question here, because this is my favorite, I'll be honest. So let's throw this up here while we think or dream of a barber. Will the World of Dreams be in the show? Thank you very much, Ray Jordan. If you were here right in this moment, I'd give you a mug. Are you here? Are you here, Dre? I don't know if you're here. This is a great question. I really appreciate those aficionados, the Teleronriad aficionados love this question, because we get Rafe's answer. How could you do the show without it? Did anyone else breathe out in a sigh of relief, just like I did about this? Is anyone else as excited as I am about this answer?
I don't like that answer.
It's an
wow.
It's like, how could you do the show without it? That doesn't say, how could you? Could you? It's like a question. Sure, he doesn't mean it like that, but I just don't like it. Very
He doesn't
Aes
mean it
Sedai.
like that.
It's an
know,
Aes
I know.
Sedai answer.
It's like,
you know.
how could you? Good question, Ray.
That is
We've been in this fandom for too long.
yeah.
Yes, we have.
Clearly, like be positive,
I know.
Jen. God, no, I'm just kidding. You're right. I have to admit that you can interpret it that way. But tell me, Kritter, do you interpret it that way, or are you on the this means Teleronriad is confirmed?
Teleronriad confirmed. Thank the
Love
light.
it. Love
You really
it.
you cannot have the show without it. I mean, it's got stuff from Parent, it's got stuff from Egwene, and like that's one of their strong suits. It would be such a disappointment if they didn't have it. So I'm stoked.
Would that put you off, Innkeeper? Would you hate the show if they cut Teleronriad?
If you take out the third constant, just like if you take out like the third leg of a 3-leg stool, I feel like it just falls over. So would I hate it? No. Would it fail? Yes. No, it's just
Good answer. I like that.
So I'd still watch it, but that doesn't mean I would actually believe it was the Wheel of Time, which I think Rafe is pointing out here. How could you do the show without it? Agreed. Thank you very much, Rafe, for that answer. And like I said, Jay, thanks, man. That's a great question. So,
Matt,
After
I'm
the
gonna jump
Innkeeper's
out.
heart.
I'm
you
sorry.
outta
I'm
here?
gonna jump out here. Yeah. Thank you
Jen,
so much for having me on.
thank you so much. It was awesome to have you. We'll see you soon, I'm
See you
sure.
guys
Hey,
soon.
bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, Jen.
Bye-bye. So that was awesome. Thank you, Jen, for being with us. Okay, moving on to our next question here. Let's see. Where is it at? Yeah. So Rafe Ants. Sorry, let me show the screen here. This one was really funny. is it Domi is the name here? Rafe, who is always late to set? Which, great question. Fantastic. And Rafe wrote, wish I hadn't randomly selected this one. Let me see. Maybe I'll just keep typing until I run out of characters, and then it'll just be like, whoops, I couldn't really answer your question. Of course, I wish I could, but it's just so tough with the character limit on Twit. That's it. So with that in mind, let's answer it for him. Why do we believe do you have someone in mind, Rob, of who you think was always late to the set? Now remember, they could be listening.
They are listening. Come on, let's be positive here.
Are you gonna call out anyone
Marcus,
that you're like
Yosha,
definitely late?
Maddie, Zoe, like everybody is watching. Barney, Rafe, they're all sitting here watching. I know they are. Oh God, I want to say Barney because of his character, but I feel like saying it was. I'm gonna go Maddie. Just for fun.
Maddie. Okay, Maddie. You called out Maddie. Let's see. Now, I think what each of us needs to pick someone. We'll put it in a poll. That's right, because today is the Gallup poll night. So Maddie is yours. Delusions, who would you say was late to the set?
So my instinct is Barney, because we saw his wonderful chaos last summer with, SoundCloud posting things at like 3 a.m. And if you're up from 3 a.m. just recording music, are you really making it to like a 6 a.m. call? I don't think so.
I do.
Yeah, you too, Rob. But not everyone sleeps on camera the way that you do.
I do like the idea that people think it might be Rafe because of the way he answered. He doesn't want to answer this.
Oh, that's great. Can I change to Rafe?
No, you already said Maddie. It's too bad. Maddie and Barney. Critter, who would you pick on this? You got to throw somebody into the ring with us.
I'm going to go against the grain here and say Rosamund, because, the party doesn't start till she walks in, and I think she probably knows that. So
okay, who was wasn't the question always late to set?
Wait, Innkeeper, who are you picking?
Oh, I'll tell you in just a second here. Let me verify. Always late to set. Okay, I just want to get the question right for the poll, So we have, let me see, we have Maddie, we have Barney, and then who did you pick, Critter, again? You picked Rosamund, yes. And I'm going to pick Rafe. That's right. I think Rafe was signaling. I think Rafe was signaling to everybody that he was kind of embarrassed they asked him this question. So it's Rafe. Rafe is the answer. Here we go. Let's ask the community.
We don't think Rafe would throw himself under the bus?
No, well, I don't know. You're trying to turn the poll against Rafe. Don't do that.
Yes.
Don't do that. I see. That was immediately.
Yeah, come on. If it was Rafe, you'd be like, "Yeah, I need to own up now and just say it was me."
That's true. That's probably true. Okay, I should have picked somebody else.
I feel like I should vote for my pick now, but I'm torn already. So.
You're already torn. Yeah,
I voted for my pick. Oh dear, I'm not doing well.
My first time reader said it must be Rand. Yosha, because his cheekbones take so much time in the morning. Sharp.
Sculpt.
Well, by that definition, it could be Daniel Henney instead.
It sure could.
Love it. That's hilarious. Let's see. So while we wait for this poll, let's see, where are we at so far? And then I'll jump to the next answer. We are, oh, wow. They did go with the Rafe explanation. 205 of you have already voted, and you're still voting. And Rafe is just, wow, Rafe. This is, everybody thinks that you were kind of being coy here. What we will do is we'll post this poll afterwards to Rafe, and we'll say, can you just tell us if we were correct? I think that's a fun thing to send him. That's what he needs to spend time answering tweets like that. It's not like he has table reads or other things to be working on or something like that.
No.
So
you could be Aisha about it and be like, is the person you wanted to say in this group of four?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a good idea. I like it. We're definitely going to do that. So, okay. Remind me of that one, Rob. We definitely do that. Okay. So Rafe's next question was from Adurna, said, can we expect to see any of the Forsaken in season 1? Rafe wrote,
question.
It depends on how much you know about the Forsaken. I feel like this has been asked before like this. Is that true? I feel like he's answered something like this before, but it depends on how much you know about the Forsaken. Do you like this answer, Critter? Is this
I do, I think, because there's some mystery in the first book, mild spoilers about who the main antagonist is, the guy who keeps showing up in their dreams, like who is he? You know what I mean? And if you're not familiar, you might be persuaded that it's, the Dark One himself, like Rand, Matt, and Perrin thought. So yeah, I think it's a good answer. It's not spoilery in that way that it could have been.
Yeah, it's not spoilered, but you can kind of read it a different way. I mean, and as like hardcore fan freaks, we can read it a different way, which is, I mean, do you think this Delusions, he's giving away this idea of how they would present Forsaken to us in season 1?
Chosen, but this is my favorite answer. Like by far, this is my favorite. And the more I think about it, the more I think he's going to be hiding some Easter eggs. So like the article mentions, a queen and the throne going to a princess. So there's like a vague reference to Morghese and Elaine. And I'm hoping that what we see in the show, fingers crossed, is maybe we don't see the Forsaken, but maybe we hear rumblings of where they are. Like maybe we hear about stuff going on in Eridomon and Camelin and like, maybe just Tyr and Ilian, maybe just like the rumors that we hear, throughout where they meet Tom, perhaps, that we start to hear rumblings. And if you're familiar with the Forsaken and you know what they're getting up to in the Third Age, you can be like, I hear you, Shara. I know what you doing.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to get that a lot. And Joe, thankfully, gave us the quote about, like I said, I thought Rafe had said something like this, and he said, Rafe said some people see Forsaken everywhere. So I guess that's not as detailed or as specific as this one was. It depends on how much you know about the Forsaken. So yeah, this gives me hope that we are going to get a Forsaken. Maybe, some type of mask, of mirror situation, or some type of illusion, if not. And so I'm hopeful. I mean, Rob, do you think we're going to see a Forsaken, whether or not we know it's a Forsaken in season 1?
That we will know as a Forsaken, or that the general viewers will know?
Oh, that's a good point. That we as fans, you think that will be obvious to us and not obvious to everybody else? Okay.
I mean, we'll spend 10 hours every day thinking about it, but we'll see a Forsaken. I have no doubts, and one of us will be right at some point somewhere.
Nice. Yeah, that's I think you're right. I mean, it'd be pretty weird to hide it from us because we'll be basically seeing Forsaken, like you said, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So
any specific Forsaken you'll be seeing, Matt?
It's not important that we see that Forsaken in season 1, as long as I can announce who that Forsaken is in season 2. Look, I think that's legit. Like, I don't need to obsess about Lanfear, as long as I can announce who Lanfear is cast as, or who's cast as Lanfear. So it kind of works both ways, by the way, who Lanfear is cast as, if you think about it. But so were there any other questions here that Rafe asked? I don't believe so. I think he just answered 5. Am I missing one that any of you recall?
Scrolling through.
I thought he said he was going to answer 5, and I want to say those were the 5 that he answered. He definitely made some really wonderful comments. If you go through social media, which we will hear probably later in the show, Rafe replied to a bunch of fans and said some really wonderful things about Sarah Nakamura. There's some really kind of touching responses that go around back and forth between them. If you want to go on Twitter and time and see that, you should. So I think that was it. I think those were all the questions from Rafe. What do you think? To me, this is one of my favorite parts of when there's a drop of information, when Rafe gets on and answers questions. It's always like really invigorating to the fan community, because we're going to get some maybe more details that we don't see, that that others maybe are not aware of because they don't read the books. So I love those. Anything that stands out here from Rafe's answers anyone wants to say before we move on from here?
I'm just bummed that I took his, post in the article comment section too literal, apparently, and my question didn't get answered because it was in the article. However, it does put traffic on the article, and so that will help promote it. So
what was your question, Rob?
Oh, I need to go back and look now. You're putting me on the spot. No, it was about the metadata. So I asked, is the information put in the metadata put there deliberately? And if so, who won the pool about how long it would take us to find it?
That was a good one. I like that.
I like it. Yeah, that's really good. And by the way, let's end this poll. Who was always late to set? I know people said maybe I was calling out Rafe here. No, Rafe probably works harder than anybody on that show. I imagine this is in his head all the time. He's working late hours, and the idea that he might be a little bit late because he's always awake to me makes a lot of sense. Not because Rafe's somehow lazy. But Rafe, yes, 56% of the people agreed that maybe Rafe was being coy there and teasing everyone with 272 votes. Thank you all for kind of jumping in and taking part in today's Gallup polls. These have been a lot of fun. No, I am obsessing a little bit about these polls, that's for sure.
I have
So
been
good,
away
though.
from the dusty wheel for too long. Like, this like whole poll thing is so fun.
I know. Now that I don't have to go like, hey, Taylor, put this poll in there, and I can just be the one to manage it. Oh, man, I love it.
Do you think Taylor just wrote off to YouTube that, dude, can you put this in? My dad keeps asking for polls. Inappropriate. Like, I'm busy doing something. He's like, Taylor, put a poll in, you know?
By the way, Taylor and I had a little bit of miscommunication. We're going to have to do the mug giveaway at a different time because Taylor took off and he's not here to kind of run that. And that's right. I depend on Taylor so much, I don't know how to do those.
Just like throw raffle in chat and we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, yeah, I could tell you, but I couldn't. I don't know your setup, so I couldn't actually guide you to the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm like, I've done them before, but it's been too long. So I owe you all some mugs. And like I said, I apologize for not being able to do those giveaways tonight. By the way, let's welcome Alex to the show. Alex, are you here? Can you hear us, Alex? Alex? I see you, but I don't hear you. I can't tell if he's like, we only get like Alex's chin at the moment.
I'm gonna free up a spot for him.
Are you out of
Yeah.
here? Oh,
Yeah,
thank you,
but
Critters, so much. Yeah,
It was so great to be
It was
here.
a blast.
This
Please
was
go
fun.
check out Critter's TikTok channel. It's a lot of fun. We'll put that in chat here. I'll make sure it gets to the description of this video afterwards. Critter, thank you for being here, and nice to meet you. This is the first time we've met each other, so it's
I know.
awesome.
So nice to meet you too. This was really fun.
Yeah, thank you so much. We'll see you. Good night.
Thanks.
Go download TikTok, folks.
Yes, go download TikTok. Alex, can you hear us now? You're on. We see you.
Yes, I can.
Excellent.
Sorry, internet's not that great.
No problem. This is, no worries. This is Alex from my Hero's Journey podcast. Thank you very much for being here. And it looks like maybe you're freezing up there a little bit. That's okay. We'll figure it out. Whenever he gets back to answer us. You can answer for him, Delusions. Hey, Alex, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, Matt. Getting real excited for
Thanks.
the Wadcast-a-thon this weekend. I've got a segment. I can't remember what time it is, but I think it's early in the morning, and everyone should check it out. We're raising money for charity.
That's true. Thank you for bringing that up, by the way. That is a good point. There is a charity Watcast-a-thon going on Twatcast. It's on their YouTube channel. That's correct, right? It's like
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's a 24-hour long charity event. So many content creators across Wheel of Time are part of that, and it's a blast. We've done this. We did this last year with them, and we'll do it again this year. As far as the content creators are involved, we're actually here at the Dusty Wheel doing one. I think we're like the second to last show on Saturday, so that's gonna be a blast. Are you doing one? Are you doing a show too, Delusions?
Unfortunately, I have to go to a bachelorette this weekend. So
Oh no,
I'm
Okay.
out, and I can't participate in live chat, and I can't make people shave themselves this year, so I'm really
Yeah.
upset.
Well, let me look. When are the Black Tower Boys on? Because those are the ones that do the shaving. So they are on at 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern on the Saturday.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
good
I should
shaving
go.
time.
Oh, you know what? I should go. What am I doing? Why am I not showing this to everybody? I feel here I am with access to all sorts of things where I can just look up Twatcast, and we can show you what that's going to look like here for this upcoming weekend. Here you go. And while we wait, I know Alex hopefully will. His internet will resolve its issues. As you can see, here's the Wheel of Time charity Watcast-a-thon. Like I said, it is from the 20th to the 21st. Don't forget, on the 20th, you can go buy a magazine. On the 21st, you can see this schedule, like I said, for 24 straight hours, beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern, all the way to 8 p.m. Eastern the next day. So yeah, it's going to be it's gonna be a lot of fun. Make sure you obviously go check it out. You can see all the content creators that are going to be part of this. So
I'm running a 2-hour slot early in the morning, although not early for me. So that's going to be a lot of fun doing some shipping. And I've got 4 different time zones involved. I have Kev from Australia, I have Anna from Germany, myself, and then Master of Deck is joining me from America. So it's going to be good fun. And Watchnary has a 2-hour slot as well. They're doing a massive game show. I can't be there for that one. Sorry. I have to work for half the stream, sadly.
You're working along. It's okay. It's okay. I think that's fine. Hey, Alex, are you back? Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Hopefully you can hear me. Video is still freezing a little bit, but
yeah, no, we can hear you. I know it's freezing back and forth. That's okay. What we wanted to do is open up the phone lines. We are a live call and talk show. We haven't gotten there yet. I think right now is a good time to do this. We'll only be able to take a couple of calls tonight. If you want to give us a call, throw the spoil banner up just in case someone calls and spoils anything or wants to. You can give us a call. It's 1-312-825-5968. That's 1-313-825-5968. You can give us a call and comment on anything we've said tonight, maybe Rafe's questions, maybe the metadata you're kind of curious about, or even something you saw from Entertainment Weekly or just something from this weekend. I wanted to go through some of the social media that we saw afterwards from, like I said, the Wheel of Time, from Rafe. Get your thoughts on this while we see if we get any callers in. Like I said, probably only do a couple of those calls and weave you into the conversation, as we like to say around here. I did see a note from Jason. Let me see if I can find this and post it to the screen. And I think I might have lost it. Jason, I apologize now, but I can just read your comment. But thank you very much for the tip here. Jason said, have a great night all. Thanks for the show and awesome commentary to everyone on the show. Thank you very much, Jason, for that tip. It was really very much appreciated. And yeah, I think that is, we have, like I said, 3 callers just in queue already. Let's let them queue up.
Wow.
And
they were sat there waiting to just like open dial.
they were ready. They were in. So let's let them, we'll find out. My wife is going to answer that call and kind of find out what they're calling and who it is. And we'll bring them into the show. While we do that, like I said, I wanted to talk about some of the posts that the Wheel of Time made today. So let's jump in and check those out here. Afterwards, they had some really fun. This one, I think I mentioned, they thanked us for our broadcast and then asked me not to be embarrassed about the boots. That's right. So yeah, that was really nice. And then obviously they made a post of Entertainment Weeklies. I thought they had made some other comments, but it might have just been I saw that they had kind of liked a lot of comments around, and maybe that was what I was kind of focused on today. Rafe's and Rafe had some comments here, and let me tell you, I brought this up. His commentary with, I think it was with Sarah Nakamura, and I will find that here shortly. I think it's right underneath here. Rafe mentioned, sorry he'd missed what we had done this morning, was in a table read, but hope you enjoyed the amazing costumes from Isis Musadin and sets from Andre Nekvasil. I'm not sure I said that right. And right after that, Sarah said, love sharing this moment with you, Rafe. It's really happening. And he replied, girl, you're the one keeping us on track. All of these countless hours you put into making sure everyone knows the books in the show and the details that make the world come alive are why these picks work. The name Sarah is synonymous with the books in Prague. And Sarah wrote, this just warms my heart. You've made my dreams come true, missing you and everyone else just that extra bit of more today. And I've officially let the waterworks go as a sweet note, just put me over the top. Just really, really a fun interaction between Rafe and Sarah that I thought was of note. Did you see anything else in social media, anything that we've kind of forgotten to cover here that would be useful for people to see between the 3 of you?
Madeline's post was quite cute.
That was.
She shared the picture of her and Yosha. Yeah,
absolutely. Let's show Madeline's. That was. I agree. Did you see any other cast members? I thought I saw a few more. Maybe said something, but Madeline definitely did here. The Shepherder and the Innkeeper's daughter. Hashtag Wheel of Time series and What on Prime. That was a really good one. I thought I saw that she had also done something else here, but that was a nice note from here. And then she said that she did say, first look at what we've been keeping secret for the past 2 years in the Wheel of Time. So yeah, you can tell she's really excited about this coming up. Yeah, I loved those comments. those were really great. Anything else that you both remember coming out of social media that is something we should show everybody?
I was completely off social media today, so I've missed everything. I'm looking to chat to give me any answers. Scrolling through Insta right now. I see Yosha just shared the picture of him and Maddie, just to his story, but that's it. No comment or anything.
Yeah, there's been a lot of sharing today of the pictures. I know Juliet Howland's been put up a few bits. Alvira Morte's been going around liking things. I'm not gonna lie, I died a little bit early when he liked my tweet. So there's been a lot of the pictures being shared or just likes or things of that nature, but not a lot of sort of one-on-one interaction, so to speak. But it's nice to see that everyone is just freely throwing it out there. And I know that a couple of them, well, at least one of them is actually genuinely excited because I messaged Juliet and said, are you excited? Oh my God, I can't believe we're costumes and stuff. And she's like, replied in exactly the same vein as I was messaging her, being like, yes, this is incredible. So yeah, I know, if that's the vibe from, just the person playing Matt's mother, I can only imagine what the main cast are feeling. So.
Yeah, the Juliet's awesome, and I think as this happens more, it's gonna be fun to see more of the cast kind of jump into social media and just kind of get as excited as we all are getting about this. I love that. Let's bring in a caller here shortly. First up, I just want to thank the Tarwin's Taint for the tip. Good night, all. Got to run. Happy wadding, all, and to all a good night. Thank you, Tarwin's Taint, for that tip. And Mandarv, thank you very much. $6 for the 6 hours of content today, Innkeeper. You do put a lot of time and effort into the show, and we all thank you. No, thank you very much. It's like I said, and I think I said this on social media today. It's just a lot of fun for me. But I appreciate that from you. Why don't we bring our first caller in and let's talk with Kevin. Kevin, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. How you doing tonight?
Doing well. How about you?
Excellent. So what did you call in to say about what's been going on today?
So I don't know. I'm just excited.
Sure.
There's just this level of I've seen these first look things for a bunch of different shows so many times, and there's just something so surreal about finally seeing it for the Wheel of Time. I don't know. We've had the poster, we've had other stuff, but this is really the one that kind of kicked in for me. It's like, oh man, this is happening. And then I'm on the East Coast, so the images were initially leaking like last night or close to midnight.
Yeah.
I remember staying up really late, like kind of going through those things there, and then getting up this morning being like, oh man, there's better versions out there and stuff. It's great stuff.
Then like the creased and reflective pictures from the physical copy.
Exactly.
Yeah, Moraine got lost
One
in the
with
middle.
thumb in the middle.
Yeah. What was your favorite one of what you saw? When you look at the high res images that we finally got from Entertainment Weekly, which one of those was your favorite?
So I got a couple. I don't know, all of them. So I think my favorite was.
You got to pick one.
Yeah. So I think my favorite was the cast.
The cast? Yeah, sure.
So in case you don't know, I am Brick Ninja, the guy doing the Lego stuff.
Oh, Brick Ninja.
Oh my gosh.
And-
I'm posting your. Oh my gosh. That was so amazing. You got that out so fast.
And so it was around like midnight, 12:30 last night. I was like, I could do this. And I'm like, no, I got to work tomorrow. I got to go to sleep. So then I woke up at like 6 o'clock this morning. And I was like, okay, I'm awake. And so I'm like looking at the picture, trying to build up figures and stuff like that there and figuring stuff out and doing a quick Photoshop thing before I came to work. But I really loved being able to finally see a lot of the costumes and stuff. So that's probably the one that stuck out to me as my favorite, which is kind of why I went to replicate that one in particular.
Yeah, I'm going to show on screen the one you did. We showed this
my
morning, but
gosh.
it's worthy of showing again. I love that you woke up and did this. This is amazing.
Like I was doing different things at 6 a.m.
I was not doing this, that's for sure. Alex, had you seen these, Alex? Have you seen the Brick Ninja version of that cover photo?
I haven't yet. I don't think I have.
Oh my gosh. You need to go check that out. There's a link in chat, and I'm showing it on the screen right now for those. These are so well done.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin, thank you for calling in, first of all, and being online, and then showing these and just letting us know who you were. Sorry, I didn't recognize your voice, so I appreciate you kind of calling that out. So, this is great. This work, I can tell everyone appreciates it. At least on Twitter, it was liked over a couple hundred times and retweeted almost 50 times. So yeah, it's beautiful. It's awesome. I want to ask you one question about this before I let you go. How in the world did you find Nynaeve's dress? Seriously, it has the yellow at the bottom with the green. That's ridiculous. It's almost like they based her dress off of this Lego. It's just
that is Professor Trelawney from Harry Potter.
Okay, that's awesome.
That's her.
Oh gosh, that's so good.
Dress piece.
That's wow.
It's brilliant. It's so brilliant.
Seriously.
Well, thank you very much for sharing that with us, man. I appreciate you calling in and being our first caller tonight. And hopefully this will not be the last time we hear from you. Okay. We'll talk to you soon.
Alrighty. Nope. I'll be around. Thank you.
Awesome. See you. Bye-bye. Yeah. You've seen this now? You've seen this now, Alex?
I'm seeing that you haven't liked it yet, Matt.
This is
I
incredible.
haven't liked it? What are you talking about? Oh, really? I didn't like it? Well, look, I've been a little bit busy. Okay, Graendal? Let me just show Village Mattresses.
What have you been doing with your day, Matt? Come on,
look,
sort it
I
out.
know. This one's thanks for the doubleheader today at the Dusty Wheel. Kept what does it say? Sorry, that's like so far away. Customers kept interrupting me from. Oh yeah. Customers kept interrupting me from watching about half of your earlier show today, but thank you once again for your wonderful content. By the way, love the new polls. Yeah, you're welcome. The polls are amazing. It's not me. It's YouTube. This poll option. That just feeds me. It feeds how I like this. And while we're here, I will go because Graendal called me out.
Smash that like.
Yeah, smash that like. Retweeted. There you go.
And while you're here, folks, smash the like button for this video.
Yeah, please do like this video. Yeah, I would love that. Yep. Alex, before we bring our next caller, maybe tell people about what it is that you do on your podcast.
Yeah, so we talk about a bunch of different books, but for this show, we've talked about Wheel of Time up to the 5th book now. It's going to be coming out very soon. And we take a different character and we focus on their journey through the book. So, for example, we talked about Matt's journey in The Shadow Rising and how he developed and changed as a character for that book. So it's really fun to focus on those different characters. Yeah,
that's really cool. For this next one, you said you're on Fires of Heaven. Who are you focusing on there? Is that what you said? So is there a particular character you're focusing on for that book, or do you just talk about characters' journeys as you go through the book?
So we're going to do 2 episodes on the Fires of Heaven. The first one is going to be just focused on Rand's journey. So just on him. And then the second will be a bunch of different characters. Cool. Oh, that's fun. No, I love that. I need to find more time to listen to all the podcasts out there, and that sounds really interesting. I like how you're able to tackle it so quickly, though. Knowing as a listener that my investment doesn't have to be like on 30 podcast episodes to get through a book is easier for me to consume, at least. I mean, others maybe have that. I don't find as much time. Oh, I totally like this idea, by the way, and I think this is a great idea. This might be our last poll for the night. Do you like this new poll feature? We'll find out.
It was close to what I was going to suggest. I was going to suggest you poll to ask the folks which was their favorite poll that you did tonight.
Yes, there you go. I had to find out. I need to find out if people like this as much as I do. While we do, let's bring in our second caller of the night. Let me welcome Master of the Deck, to the Dusty Wheel. How you doing tonight?
Well, hey, I'm fabulous. It's been a long, I can't even say it's been a long day because the long day started at midnight last night. So it's been a day.
So, Mash of the Deck, what is your comment for us this evening? Or
well,
question, let's be honest.
Is,
what's your comment and question?
Okay.
Right?
Well, the first comment that I'll say is that, like Kaishar Innkeeper for always having awesome panelists on. I was dead at the time, so I couldn't be at most of the stream earlier. But you know, Rhythma and Wheel Theory, Jenny, and Lauren, always fantastic guests. They know how to bring the hype and the enthusiasm. And then, of course, tonight with Rob and Delusions and Alex and Kritter and Jen for a little bit there. Always awesome. So kudos to you and all of them. Round of applause.
Well, thank you. Thank you. No, there again. I got to bring the energy sometime. I love it when my guests bring that energy because it's when you ask a question and you kind of get a dead silence. It's not good. It's not good for live TV. So
silence from Delusions. No.
So, Master of the Deck, what question do you have?
There's never
for us
a dull
tonight?
moment. Okay, so
I know you got a good question, so let's hear it.
So I'm going to bring it back to the first of Rafe's answers that you discussed this evening,
okay,
which was in response to MK's wonderful question about Matt's beard. Specifically, Rafe Judkins says, the Wheel of Time is not YA. And it's a topic of conversation with the Wheel of Time books that has, and their adaptation that has come up a lot, about things like, okay, what's the rating going to be? What sort of content are we going to get in this? How is it going to reflect the content of the books? And so for all of you, do you have any thoughts on what Rafe's saying, the Wheel of Time is not YA, which, again, I'm making lots of extrapolations here because we can take one sentence and go a long way with it. But with him saying that, do you have any ideas about what that might mean for the adaptation? Do you have any confirmations, any fears, any thoughts in general?
Ooh, that's a great question. Alex, you want to go first in this answer? Yeah, go for it.
Sure. So I think this is really saying, hey, this is going to be more along the lines of Game of Thrones or The Witcher than, Lord of the Rings in the content. I think, like it or not, it's more adult and less YA to have that. I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily. Like, I watched and enjoyed The Witcher. I don't think that the added graphic scenes are going to really take away from this show and the story. At least I hope they won't take away from it. As long as they don't focus on those scenes, it'll be fine.
Yeah, I think that's a good answer. How about you, Rob? What do you think?
I've always talked about the horror element of Wheel of Time. We've got some scary creatures in this book, and some scary situations, including personal trauma. And just putting aside the battle scenes, which I hope are extremely realistic without being gory, a little bit of gore is fine, but over gratuitous gore is just, it's pointless. But I think the horror factor is what he's playing up there personally. Just think of a Murdrel, a Drakkar. All right, I know we joke they're cheesy, like having a Drakkar, but the Golem. I mean, that is got to be one of the scariest things in this world. Full stop. Has to be, doesn't it? So I've always talked about the horror factor, and I'm like, if this isn't a 15 as what they would rate over here, I'd be surprised. It's got to be something of that nature.
Yeah, that's a good thing to bring up, the horror side of this too. Delusions, do you have anything to add to there where you think a little bit different take on what he's talking about?
Boots, boobs, butts. I'm here for it.
Yes. What did I hear? All the butts. Everybody's butts. Everybody.
I like it. It was like,
what was the phrase? It was butts, boobs, and more. Butts, boobs, and beyond. That's what it was. Butts, boobs, and beyond.
Butts, boobs, and beyond.
This is a throwback to one of my infamous call-ins on the Dusty Wheel. I was a butts, boobs, and beyond supporter. I'll just say that for posterity.
Boots, butts, boobs, bangs, and beyonds. There we go. Something like that. All the Graendal, all the Delusion comments in one string there. That should be a hashtag. So I'm going to take a little bit different tack here and just say more along the lines of what Alex was saying. I think that the relationships and the conflicts are going to be adult in nature. And that is to mean like much larger ramifications that you might think of like a YA novel where it's like, in my neighborhood, there's a ghost, or, when you think of YA where it's just like, there's vampires in our city and we need to, solve this problem. I think these relationships are much more adult, across the board. When he looks at even the Mansfield 5, I think he's saying like, these are not kids, and you should not look at this show and you shouldn't believe that we've plotted. You shouldn't believe that we're attempting to, dress or have them speak in ways that speak to teenage life, And so I think of, don't expect this to be like a teenage drama as these individuals move into the world. I think immediately he's just saying, this is an adult world. These are young adults, perhaps, but not in the YA perspective of like, it's just like, some kind of teenage coming of age kind of story. That's how
This is not Twilight.
So, yes, I think that's this is not Twilight or Vampire Diaries. Not that there's anything wrong with Vampire Diaries.
My little spider monkey.
This is not Vampire Diaries in that kind of way. That's how I think about it. So, what do you think before we let you go, Mash the Deck? Do you agree with these answers, or would you add a wrinkle to that?
I think that you've all given some really well-rounded answers here. My general thoughts, YA is a very nebulous term, and it's one that hasn't actually been around for that long. And I've noticed that there are some stories that tend to get miscategorized as YA because, for example, there are more women in them, or they do deal with maybe like emotional subjects like trauma or things like that,
Gotcha.
So because The Wheel of Time does have a kind of accessible readability, for example, because it doesn't use modern profanity, people, not necessarily like people reviewing or even the readers, but it has been miscategorized as something that is targeted to that younger audience, in my opinion. So it's got a lot of those themes that you've all brought up, things like trauma. There are the horror elements of it, not just like, things that are scary, but like genre elements of horror to it as well. So I was just grateful. I said thank you to him that Rafe made that point that The Wheel of Time is not young adult fiction. This is adult fantasy, and that I think for a modern adaptation that viewers should be ready to see what The Wheel of Time translates to on screen, which may not be appropriate for people under the age of 15, as Rob said.
That's great. Yeah. Well, Mash the Deck, thank you so much. Thanks for bringing the good questions. Really appreciate your support as always here at the Dusty Wheel. And have a good evening. I'm sure we'll see you after the show. See ya.
Hell yeah.
Good night.
Thanks, Innkeeper.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. So yeah, great question. We have 2 more callers we're going to take into the show here tonight. Then I want to kind of go around and make sure we covered everything. Like I said, I'm sorry we didn't get the mug. I know I messed that up. Like I said, miscommunication, but we'll make sure Taylor and I will make it up to you all. As you know, we will. We love to celebrate and give away stuff all the time. So this just means come back next time. We have a bunch of shows coming up here at the Dusty Wheel. So just make sure you're there, and we'll make sure you get to take part in that next mug giveaway. By the way, I just want to say thanks for the tip here from Elder Drew. He said, thanks for the marathon of content. I'm very excited for the show, and I hope newcomers to the series appreciate how great the story is. This is epic fantasy at its finest. Yeah, great comment, and thank you for the tip. Thank you for sharing that. And let me see. We have 2 more callers here, and there was something that came to mind that when Master the Dark was talking, and now I can't remember what it was. Oh, that is what it is. This poll right here. Do you like this new poll feature? Only 4% of you were wrong. Because 96% of you, or 95, I guess, were correct. This poll feature is awesome. So the last poll that's actually going to be here, I saw the suggestion. I think this is great. Final poll for the night, and we'll bring our next caller in. Which of the 4 images, or 4, what do we call them? Images? Yeah.
Images, yeah.
EW first look. There we go. Images. There, yeah. So we're going to call this the cover photo. Help me out here. Shatter Logoth. What else we got? We got Ridima's. Yeah, Ridima's photo. Ridima, that's
yes.
Rand and Egwene, for those that don't know what we're talking about. And then the last one is, remind me. What's the
The
fourth
last
image?
one
Oh yeah,
is-
Logain.
Logain.
Logain, yes.
Okay, so the cover photo, Shadow Logoth, Rhythma, and that's Rand and Egwene, and Logain. We're asking the community to answer our last poll of the night when we take our final two callers in. Let me welcome someone who actually called us this morning, but it's going to be great to hear his voice. Norm, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. How you doing tonight?
How you doing, buddy?
Great, Innkeeper, as always. I raise my cup to you, but this time,
Cheers.
Don't leave me on the phone without forgetting me.
It's so great. Norm was just like, we're like, hey, you want to stick around for this? And then we got into this whole conversation. We never said the word Norm again for like 25 minutes. And then the show ended. And then somebody's like, is Norm still on? And we were like, oh, hey, Norm. Thanks for being here. So yeah, Norm, that was awesome, man. So what is your additional comment for us this evening?
Well, I was looking at the photos, and I noticed one more thing. If you go to the group shot,
but sorry, Graendal's been here. Delusions been here all night. I heard something else. What did you say? The what shot?
The group.
Group. Okay. Yep, we're there. We're there. I'm there now with you. Go ahead.
Wow. Okay. Hi, Delusions.
Sorry, I just heard something else. I wanted to make sure I was getting the right picture up. Okay, that's all. Okay, we're at the group shot here. What did you want to say about it?
So I was noticing that the style of the two rivers, and also the style of the Aes Sedai. If you look at Egwene and Nynaeve, look at their dresses. They have a similar pattern going on that are a lot of horizontal patterns going on. And if you look at Nynaeve and Perrin and Rand, if you look at their coats with their cuffs, they're all similar in how they're made and how they're stitched together and stuff. And I think that was intentional, because I remember in one of the tweets or whatever that there was going on that every nation was going to have a specific type of style. So, I mean, I think that's the Two Rivers style that you're going for with the women's dresses and with the coats of the Evans Fielders. And then if you look at the Aes Sedai, you notice that all of their patterns are very solid, very not really much embroidery, so you don't have all of the lace that Matt would truly love. But it's very plain. It's very plain, and it's very stark and solid that they have. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the Northerners are going to have. Lands people and Shannara or Malkier or all of those. I like to see how they have different styles, and then of course the Terrans, and then we're going to see probably Kyrian. So I'd love to see what their particular styles are. And of course, my personal favorite, the Domani. I would love to, for obvious reasons. I can't wait to see them. So, for no particular reason whatsoever. I'm looking forward to seeing the distinct styles of all of these different nations and stuff. So I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that. If I'm like being crazy or something, because I'm not really a fashion nerd, but one of you guys might be. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, and I think Rafe said something about just like, I hope we appreciate the time they put into this. So I like that you're kind of calling that out. The different styles of the different locales, if you will. Anybody want to answer Norm's question here or add something to this? Like, what were your thoughts on kind of styles, if you will, across the world and what we see in this photo?
To me, there's different colors for all of them, not just different styles. So obviously Rand's got a very tan look on the go. Yes, he's got a blue shirt on, but Perrin's clothes are very dark. Egwene's got predominantly the brown with that sort of blue striped. I don't know if it's a flowing cloak or something underneath. Then Lan's kind of in a shade of blue that doesn't match Moraine, but obviously links to Moraine wearing all blue. And then you've got Nynaeve wearing all green with the yellow underneath. Like, they've all got a different color tone to me, but it matches. They work together as a group. I don't look at it and think, oh my God, you've put him in yellow and them in blue and them in green, just so you could make them look different. It kind of works together. So yeah, I could see it going like that. Yeah.
Well, I like that it works together, but it still is. There's distinct differences, and so you can tell that they're coming from different places, and even potentially, as Marcel pointed out with Matt, maybe different economics, if you will. Kind of they're just in their local village. But I like that you can see it, but it does work together. So I like that somehow they made them all work together while still being kind of separate and different from. From obviously Tar-Valon, Kyrien, or the Eamon's Field, or even the Borderlands. So yeah, interesting point there, Norm. Yeah, go ahead.
I should probably quickly point out, because Master of Dex says, "Oh, land looks great to me." I'm shade blind, so that kind of looks like a type of blue to me. Sorry, folks. But if it is grey, I apologize. And I still think it works with the blue of Moraine anyway. So
yes, no, it does.
It's a complementary grey.
There we go.
Norm, it's always awesome to hear your voice. Appreciate you calling in to share that, and appreciate how well you took being forgotten on the phone this morning. So that was you took it well. You took it well, sir. Hey, have a good evening, man. It's always awesome to hear your voice. Norm, everyone, thank you very much, Norm. Good night.
Norm. Take care, you guys.
You too. Bye-bye. Okay, our last caller of the evening, someone you all know well, who also was with us earlier today. Let me welcome to the show, Lesbian Nerdy. How you doing tonight, Jenny?
Hey, Jenny.
Hey.
So what's going on?
I've had less than 2 hours sleep.
You're on a Rob level of sleep.
I'm tired. Yeah, sleep is for the weak.
So where are you at? I mean, you were there all this morning. Did you did you see Rafe's answers? Or like, what's on your mind that's maybe caught your attention this time as compared to the 3 hours this morning?
Yeah, literally. Okay, so it was like 4 or 5 in the morning when in my time, when I got off the call today, laid my head down and immediately had a thought about Matt's costume. I was like, oh, damn it! I say this on the show. So that's what I want to talk about.
Okay.
I had a theory about why Matt looks so disheveled.
Okay.
If this is Dagger Matt, which okay, you have the spoiler banner up. So if this is Dagger Matt, which makes sense because they're going into the ways and stuff. You can't Dagger Matt is supposed to be getting sick, and you can't show he's not Christian Bale. Not every actor is going to lose a bunch of weight really quickly and look super gaunt. But you can psychologically convey that through his wardrobe. Everybody else has really thick, sturdy clothes, and his clothes look as gaunt as his character is supposed to be.
Ooh,
so I guess maybe that's a sort of a way to psychologically convey that to us.
Oh, I just had an idea along with this. So you see how they're all kind of in cloaks, and it looks like it might be cold because they're in heavy, but he's not. But maybe that's that kind of illness.
No.
And so he feels hot, and so he
I
has
was
a
thinking
fever.
the exact same thing.
Oh my gosh, that is my new favorite theory on this. Is Dagger Matt, feverish Dagger Matt, whose clothes are now threadbare, and he's hot and he can't handle even having a coat. It's not his bad friends or his, it's just that he doesn't want to wear anything because he's not feeling well. Okay, I love it. I'm here for this, Jenny. That's a great point. Why didn't you think of this morning?
I don't know. It was 5 o'clock in the morning.
I know. This would have been a great thing to have brought out. No, it's great. I love both explanations, Marcel's, and I love yours, that this is Dagger Matt, a little feverish Dagger Matt. That's hashtag feverish Dagger Matt is my favorite theory, I think, at this point. So, yeah, that's a great call out. Anybody want to add anything? Any other theories to go along with this?
I could just look at that beard forever, frankly. If this is Dagger Matt, then call me a ruby hilted Jagger. I am here for it.
Graendal found herself
I can see Matt stopping it.
Delusions, I've missed you here. This is, by the way, oh gosh, the boots and bangs or whatever this morning, it was so good. This first one when you first came on, so good. Okay, so thank you very much, Jenny, for that. Any final thoughts? Anything else that you thought of that was really great after the show?
I mean, no additional thoughts. I just want to reconfirm that Nynaeve is the queen and awesome, and her braid is the thickness, and we should all bow before it.
There's going to be so many memes and pictures of that braid come over the next couple weeks. You know it. And then when you see it actually in action in a trailer, oh yeah, I know how excited that all of our Nynaeve stands are going to be about that. So, by the way, while we have this image up,
Zoe Robbins is like, look there. She's serving a look there, Zoe Robbins. It's amazing. So.
While we're here, let's take a look at these boots again. I'm just saying, like, as you scan across the boots, you got to ask yourself, like, yeah, I agree with this. I think Egwene does have. I mean, I'm kind of here for Perrin's boots. Is all I'm saying. I think if I had to pick some boots out of these, I think I'd go with Perrin's. Anybody want to pick their own boots out of these many boots? What would you pick?
I feel like this might be a poll. Whose boots are the best?
We already done that. Yeah, we already
did do that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, we only did one polls. Yeah.
I just want to do more polls.
You just want to do more polls. I got you. I understand. I get it. I feel that. So, well, Jenny, we'll let you go to sleep. Go get some sleep. And appreciate you being on the show earlier today and for calling in, for sharing that observation of feverish Daggermat. Or that's a great theory. I love it. So have a good is it morning, evening? What am I saying here?
It's I can't do math right now.
I don't even know what
have
time
a good
I think it's almost lunchtime for Jen.
Have a good afternoon. How about that? Hey Jenny, it's awesome to hear from you. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Yes.
Okay, bye.
All right.
There's been some call in chat, Innkeeper, to zoom in on Perrin's eyes.
Okay, everybody. We'll zoom in on Perrin's eyes. I know you're sick of looking at these boots, so let's do it. Let's go zoom in. While we do that, I want to call out this poll first before we get there. We had almost 200 votes on which of the I had to redo this poll. I'm sorry, everybody. Which of the EU first look photos is your favorite? Logain won this one barely over the group photo. So, that's really impressive. Nicely done. Logain in the cage took out the group photo. That's impressive. So
I also I see Wheel Up Time in the chat, and I just really need someone to redo the Smashing Pumpkins song, "Rat in a Cage" to like Logain in a cage, please.
By the way, this tip from Joel McQueen. Thank you very much. Said thank you for doing the poll. Love this show. Thanks for sharing your time with us. And people buy a mug. They're awesome. I agree. The mugs are a lot of fun. Yeah. So hopefully, if you don't have one, you might win one soon. We'll see. This is. Lonnie said, thank you for the tip. Rand shooting Egwene some solid 20 minutes into the Gleeman and 20 minutes into Gleeman and chill energy. I agree. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. I love it.
Gleeman and chill.
Gleeman and chill.
Wow.
Get a little Alexander Viome, kind of sing you some song. I like it.
Changing my Tinder profile, folks.
Yeah, that's
Gleeman and chill.
Gleeman and chill.
And I don't see Mace's message here, but I see Mace left us a tip. Time for /tug watch. Yes, I agree with you. There's going to be some tug watch here going on. Okay, so with that being said, Graendal, Delusions.
Watch. Sure that's what we want to call
you know what we're talking about. Stop it. Okay, so let's go over here and look at the eyes of one Marcus Rutherford as Perrin. See, I don't see anything like here. It doesn't look like we, get even a hint. But we had to take a look. By the way, #Gleeman and Chill is a new one. Someone needs to send that on to the editor reborn.
I'm so happy.
Editor reborn. Someone needs to get that over to him. He needs to include that. By the way, he asked for some hashtags recently. You ought to be on the lookout for those. He had some fun with that stuff. I won't tell you anymore.
I don't think that they can see the picture, Innkeeper, by the way.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
They're just staring at our beautiful faces instead.
We're all looking at it. We're all like, yeah. Okay, there's the picture if you want to see it. There's his eyes. Look, it's late. This is like, almost going into hours, close to hour 6.
Yeah, almost 6 hours. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know, Steven. I know. Look, let's be totally clear for a moment, okay? We're just building up to Trailer Gaidon. So I'm just kind of building the being able to sit in this chair for 10 to 12 hours. and we've seen at this point that I am kind of like a 5-hour innkeeper, at this show. It's like, but I'll make it to 10 to 12. Okay. I start losing it after 5, it seems. So, but yeah, nothing here that I see from an eye glint standpoint on our Varen. So no yellow, everybody, but that's a good one to call out. I like it. Any other call outs here before I get final thoughts? Any from the photos that we've already seen? These were amazing. Thank you again, Entertainment Weekly. This stuff is really so cool looking.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking with oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Just with Perrin's eyes, like, how at the end of every Game of Thrones episode there would be like, you'd wait for the teaser for the next week. I'm really hoping we get some of that with Wheel of Time, where maybe they put it out midweek or something and they just drop like what's coming up next. That one of those teasers just like flashes to Perrin's golden eyes and then like smash to black. So that's how I'm hoping they reveal like Perrin's gold eyes is like dramatic and intense, and I don't actually want to see them before the show drops.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Like not wanting them to be there. Yeah. Oh, and Rainbow Everything sent something about. I'm not sure what this is. What's a Gayazu? It seems like it's part of Lan's outfit here. Let me show you what's being kind of called out. Right there, for those that are doing a close-up on Lan. And I guess maybe let me see what that, I'm sure someone can tell us what it is here. Maybe Rainbow Everything will tell us. No, I don't know what it is, so we'll have to see. But sees something right here, like right next to his hip, I think. So I'm not sure what that is in particular, so we'll have to come back to that. But I see what Rainbow Everything's talking about there. Yeah, the gloves kind of going up to the forearm right there. But anyway, yeah, there's something. Maybe it's a form of kind of armor that is on his arm there. But anyways, I'll come back and put it on social media afterwards. But yeah, great call out there. I love it. So yeah, anything else, Rob, Alex, before we adjourn here? Anything you want to call out with Entertainment Weekly's first looks?
I'm just really excited about Logain's picture. Obviously, his whole arc is quite a long one. It goes all the way through the story. But I love how he's clearly been captured mid-battle. He was going full majestic, robes were flowing, and they've caught him in the middle of all that. And he does not look defeated. And he looks dark. He looks scary in this picture. And just where we know in the books, at least, his arc finishes, that's a journey I'm excited for. And I'm so glad that they've expanded his arc and given us more Logain, because wow. And it's also made me really excited to watch the next season of La Casa de Papel. So I can't wait for that either.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah. By the way, yeah, maybe it's a bracer on Lan's arm. By the way, they brought that up. But yeah, I think Logain, you're right. This image of Logain is amazing. I got to shout out Alvaro Morte after this. Just, yeah, what a shot here. This is great. I love this comment from Laura. Thank you very much for the tip. Said, you're more than a 5-hour innkeeper. You can handle trailer Gaidon, or however it's spelled. I love it. That's right. I can handle it. It's going to happen. Everyone get ready. Like I said, 10 to 12-hour live stream, a lot like this, breaking down the trailer whenever that happens, sometime in, I think, 34 days or less. Alex, any final thoughts on these images before we let these fine folks who've been watching us all day go?
Yeah, so I agree with Rob about Logain's image. He doesn't look defeated at all, but the one I wanted to focus on is the group photo with Moraine in the middle. I know it's because Rosamund Pike is the highest paid actress, but I also like that it's going to focus on her, at least to start, for that mystery of who's the Dragon Reborn. It's not focusing on Rand. He's not in the middle. He's on the very end. He's not the most important person, at least to start the show, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, people brought that up. There was something weird when we saw those first images and they had a crease and you couldn't even see Moraine. I like seeing her better than that. But I do like that Rand is off to the side. Yeah, Rand, Nynaeve. you're right. It presents this way. We don't have this notion of like, who is the most important person in this line? Definitely Moraine in this view, but beyond that, it's really up in the air. So yeah, great call out. I love that. This is definitely gonna be an iconic image for all of us fans at the very least. Hopefully for many more who see this image and are really excited and want to know what this is. That's what I'm hoping that this inspires people to be like, okay, I'll put some time into this. This seems like it could be fun. So yeah, that's going to be the question of the, at least for us fans, is this the right way to connect with, and will they connect with other people that haven't read the books yet? So I hope so. And by the way, Ryan Timms, your wonderful support to the channel, really appreciate that. Thank you very much for your tip. Ryan said, Tyshar, Innkeeper, you're doing in yeoman's work, as well as all your guests, and of course chat. We all appreciate it. Yeah, let's be honest, chat, you guys were amazing today. Yeah. Like amazing, pointing out things we should, sending notes. Like this is like a discovery together when we do these live channels, live coverage, where you guys are discovering things, putting it on, and so we can show it for everyone. I loved that today. So thank you for all who kind of got into that. We're pointing things out. I want to say we found everything. I think maybe Sarah would laugh at us if she thinks that we found everything. Yeah. She'll be like, "No, you missed 5 things." Or
there's
something.
There's still 200 Aiel that we've missed in all those pictures. Apparently, so.
That's right. We've missed all the Aiel. I love it. But yes, thank you very much, Ryan. And you're absolutely correct. All these wonderful people here in chat that have taken part today. This has been a blast. For me to be part of this and to just, enjoy all of your time. Again, no mugs tonight, but we'll bring that back, I promise. Next time, Sunday, we're doing sword forms with Way of the Heron. Like I said, that's going to be a blast. Please be around for that. They're going to release something that they recorded that they have not shown publicly yet. So we'll premiere it during the show, and they're going to talk all about it. So I think it's going to be a blast. So
you're going to, I think I know what it is, because I've been speaking to Jim, and you're going to love it, folks. I have to say, if it's what I think it is, it's epic.
It's epic, yeah. And Delusions, awesome to have you here. Thank you so much. It's a blast.
So much fun to be
here. It feels so good. It feels
this
good
fandom,
to have you back.
Man, I can't say enough about the Watt fandom. I'm not on Facebook, which is probably why I have nothing negative to say. But the Discord community, if you guys aren't on Discord, if you're in chat and you're watching, you're not on Discord, not just Dusty Wheel Discord, you're going to want to jump on every content creator's Discord. It was going like, that is when these pictures dropped from Anthony Covino or whoever this person was last night, like Discord just exploded. There was notifications constantly, and it was really it really felt like we were all together. And I haven't been to JordanCon, I haven't been to CouchCon, but it really felt like we were all together in like one collective room freaking out. And it was such an intimate experience just to be, on my phone in bed with my friends.
Yeah,
so
no, it did.
Discord.
It was awesome. It was hard to concentrate today. Alex, were you able to get any work done with everything going on?
So I go to bed very early usually, so I didn't see any of these photos until I got off work today. That's the only way I was able to focus on stuff.
Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you start getting into what's going on with fandom, it's hard to step away from it. That's for sure. So smart to not look at it if you needed to get work done today. That was the better idea probably, because I had a hard time focusing. I just saw this question from MK. Let me put this up. I'll show this question to everybody here. MK said, "So wait. Are we ending without talking about your interview?" So we can talk about it. I just felt like we were 2 hours in, and I don't want to rush discussing the interview. So we can talk about it tonight, or I can come back and actually talk about it at a later time and maybe make it its own thing that we just get together and talk about. But I can give you kind of would everyone like just kind of little pieces of that interview now? Is that where we're at? Yeah, I'm seeing some people. Yes. Oh, Rob's kind of like, maybe.
Yeah. Hey, so, it's like Jen said on the stream this morning. It's 4:04. I'm committed at this stage. So
yeah, I'll give you a little bit of this. And what was being asked about was I got to speak with Sally Richardson Whitfield, who's the director of episodes 5 and 6. And it was through this GalaxyCon Live. It's basically an online virtual convention, comic convention, if you will. And she was giving away, or not giving away, I should say, you had to purchase 1-to-1 experiences, basically like 2 minutes of like speaking over Zoom like this, basically. And I got a couple minutes with her, and it was a lot of fun. I'll tell you this, very, very wonderful person. As soon as she got on, I was sitting right here. And she saw the backdrop, and she was like, whoa, like not expecting it. Cause like normally you probably see like someone's window and a cat walking by, whatever. She was not expecting the Dusty Wheel to show up, nor like all the Wheel of Time books. And she said, wow, so we're going to be talking about the Wheel of Time, I gather. And I was like, yep, that's what we're going to be doing. And then I proceeded to ask her a bunch of questions. One of the ones that always comes up from fandom was, has this individual read part of the Wheel of Time? What Sally told me was that she had read the first 3 books of the Wheel of Time. And she actually mentioned that it was something that she wanted to do and felt like it was a responsibility, basically, and don't quote these words because I'm just giving you a general summary paraphrasing, but for her to really, understand the world and the characters, she wanted to get a feel for it. So I really appreciated that about what she had to say, which was like, yes. And she even showed me, I think it was The Eye of the World. She grabbed it off her bookshelf and showed it to me. And I was like, sweet, that's awesome. And then I did ask her, what was her favorite, if she had a favorite character from those books. And what she said was that she really liked the Ogier. And she called out really thinking that Loyal was a really cool character. So I'll get the exact quotes on these. And then I did ask her, I think it was Master of the Deck might have proposed this question, but I asked her like, what was it about this genre that was interesting to her? Because she'd done a lot of work in the genre. And basically she said, again, don't quote these exact words, but basically said that this is just, she sounds like she's a geek at heart. She's always loved this. I think she called out like Alien, like 1 and 2 as some of her favorite movies that she could just watch over and over again. She feels like this is her place. This is her genre. And so I think she feels really experienced in it. And I think that's why maybe people come to her, is that she just has a lot of experience and a love for this genre. So there were a couple more answers she gave that I want to kind of clarify with her before I share those, that gave some details about the show, but in a way that I don't feel comfortable just like saying without asking her if it's okay to share. But these were really, really great kind of answers from her. She seemed extremely genuinely excited about the Wheel of Time. I did ask her if she had any friends or family, because I was kind of curious that had kind of gotten excited about this and wondered. She said she didn't. So I kind of took that like she's like a geek, like all of us, where it's like
hardcore fan freak.
Yeah, she's a hardcore fan freak about things that maybe others around her who are friends and loved ones aren't necessarily. They're different kind of geeks. And so I really felt some commonality, some kinship there with her when she mentioned that. So great discussion overall. Wonderful person. Glad that she took part in directing this, and just thanked her for being part of this, and told her we looked forward to seeing her episodes in 5 and 6. So that was basically it. Like I said, there were a couple more questions that I know you all would like to hear, and I just want to get those passed by her before I share those stories. So yeah, that was it. MK, thank you so much for reminding me about that. I just knew this was at the end of a show, and I know a lot of people probably missed that, but hopefully you enjoyed kind of hearing that about Sally Richardson Whitfield. Go look her up. Like I said, genuine, kind, nice person who seems to really love the work that she's doing and love to be part of the Wheel of Time. So
I just got chills, like watch party when we go through the episodes that she directed.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, if you were able to get her on.
I know. Yeah. Hopefully that would be awesome if she came and did a watch party with us on one of those episodes. Who cares when, it's like, if she was like, I can do that in like 6 months. Cool. Let's do that.
Yes.
So yeah, that would be amazing. And that is something we'll try to make happen here for everyone. That would be awesome. I don't have to poll that question. I know everyone would really enjoy that. So yes. Well, thank you again for being here, Alex. Thanks for jumping in, man. Appreciate it. Hopefully, I know you kind of came in a little bit later, but hopefully you enjoyed your sojourn here with us at the Dusty Wheel. Yes. And you do have one more, you have a show coming up, right, at the Wattcastathon. You were kind of like frozen before, so we couldn't hear you. But are you part of the Wattcastathon coming up here on Friday, Saturday? And when can people catch you?
like the 5 a.m. Eastern slot. I'm gonna be doing a Wheel of Time quote matching game, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, that is fun. Yeah, I love it. I'm going to be doing a boot matching game. That's what I'm going to be doing. I totally am going to. I mean,
so we're going to get some more tailored calves, is what you're saying.
I'm going to bring in like BARSIDE chats and tell Brian, like, dude, we're matching boots. We're getting people live to try to match boots to a person. I love it. Have everybody send us their boots too, just so we can get like content creator boots mixed in with there, you know.
Oof, I got to dig out some of my boots now.
Well, thank you again. You can catch us. We do an after show on Discord. Go catch us over there after this. You can keep this conversation going. Again, thank you for all who left tips here tonight. If I forgot to call you out, I apologize. Loved all the comments. I love whether or not you leave a tip or not. I'm tracking your comments here as I go. There were so many, but hopefully I was able to call out some of you. It was a blast. Thank you to my guests. And yes, we'll see you Sunday. As we say around here, good night from the Dusty Wheel and smash to black.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
You went right to kill it. Look at you. You're all ready. You're just done. I mean, this is like this is
really well. And now I'm like, great, my turn.
And if you don't like that, and you want to say, well, Robert Jordan could have made the two rivers all white. He could have, but he didn't. So,
Just complimented me on my dress, and as you can clearly see, I'm
sad.
not
I see Lukomi as something along the lines of a Shadar Haran analog.
It does make sense why it outlasted the breaking.
Yeah.
See, this is why I have Therese in the show, because she's going to correct everything that.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dusty Wheel Show. What? Beam Off Challenge! Yay!
Curved, like baby face, mounted on like a huge body. So like all of a sudden,
this is not just
like,
a traditional fantasy, right? There are sci-fi
and
elements.
Just a moment ago, Rafe tweeted something. So let me get my guests in here with me. And
probably, I would say, put in 70, 80% of the work. I got to be over the shoulder and be like, no,